to Booked and Busy, the podcast where we dive deep into the world of your favorite authors one book at a time. Each week we will dissect bestsellers and explore the stories that have captured our hearts and minds. Whether you're a casual reader or an avid reader, our reviews and conversations will spark your imagination and inspire your next read. Join us as we hear from fellow book lovers and share our insights on themes, conflicts, and hidden gems. Hi, everybody, and welcome back. On today's episode, we're going to be discussing self-help books and the love-hate relationship they have on readers. Just a heads up, me and Tanitra will be reviewing the second installment of the Housemaid series on episode 3, Demon's Dream by Elle Kaysen on episode 4, and reviewing the entire Skyland series by Kennedy Ryan, which will be split into 3 different episodes. The last release of the Skyland series, Can't Get Enough, will be released May 13th and is available for pre-order right now. Before we dive into today's discussion, Tanitra, I have to ask you something. Are we going skating this weekend?
We absolutely need to. My mama's birthday party is coming up, and we're doing like the 70s themed party for her 50th. And I haven't skated in I don't know how long, and I know I'm gonna get out there and bust my behind. Like, we need to get to a skating rink pretty quickly.
I didn't know it was going to be 70s theme.
Yeah, because she's born in 75, so we're making it a whole.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, I do need to get back. I need to learn how to skate.
But I'm scared. I feel like it should be muscle memory.
I feel like that too, but I also think we need to go like early in the afternoon when the little kids are there, so it's like no one can see us fall.
They say adult night is Thursday, so we got to avoid Thursday nights.
Okay. I
For
saw
right
something
now.
Sunday too for that looked a little bit adultish. I want to avoid that.
Where'd you see it?
On the website for the skating rink.
Looney's got a website?
It's not called Looney's anymore. That's how I had to find it. Yeah.
What?
Yeah. I
Okay.
forgot what it's called, but that's how I found they have a whole schedule up on their
I guess I'm just so used to it being Looney's for
Same.
20 plus years.
Up stuff trying to plan for the party, and it was like Looney's permanently closed. I'm like, no, it's not. I just saw people there.
Because they were just there that weekend of our
Right?
reunion. So I'm just like, hold on now. Because I definitely see the same thing online. It says permanently closed. But
Right.
just like, it's still there. It's still, and then I feel like they still got the sign up as the same thing. I just passed by there not too long ago.
I feel like they might, at least the outline, because I know I didn't just pull that out of nowhere. It's definitely, in my head, it's still Looney's.
Okay. Well, let's just jump into today's discussion. So I have a quote from NBC News, and it says, self-help books, critics insist, use mediocre prose to promise impossible transformations to gullible consumers. How do you feel about that statement?
I could agree with it largely, and that's why I think you have to take a specialized approach to self-help books. Like anybody going into it, you can't go in thinking this is going to help me do something. I think you need to have something in mind, like I'm trying to learn how to listen better, or some skill in your head that you're trying to refine, and then go after a book that targets that, because otherwise you're definitely going to get bombarded with those books that are just like, learn how to, accelerate to the highest level, and 100% of your performance and all this other stuff. I think it's definitely true to me. Like, you have to find your books, especially for like what you're looking for. Like, personally, I tend to go for like the self-help books that tend to help me sharpen my own skills. Teach me how to do something, and then I'll feel better about having read it.
I agree with that statement. Well, and with what you said, I will say with the self-help books, a lot of them are filled with a bunch of limited beliefs. And
Ooh, I agree. I have a book just for that on my list today.
what's it called?
The Power of Your Subconscious Mind by Joseph Murphy.
Okay.
It's
I wonder
it's
if
kind
it's
of
on
like
this list.
classic-ish. You probably heard of it, but it's not long at all, but it's really good.
Okay. Yeah, I feel like people have these self-help books, and it's fine if you want to express your ideas or what works for you, but at the end of the day, we're all our own kind of like individual, and I feel like whatever works for you just works for you. And I'll give you an example of something that I don't like. So you remember that lady, and this is what some self-help books remind me of. You remember that lady named Stormy who was like on the internet,
Yes.
and she was talking about this is a low vibrational plate
Yes.
and all this other and I just thought that was the most stupidest shit I ever heard.
That was so good. I'm sitting there thinking, and that girl just sat there and let her, like, why would you let her do this to you?
And
She's
she got
like
her
calling
fingers all on your plate.
She's like, oh my goodness, sweetheart.
Yeah,
I
so
forgot about the low vibrational plates.
yeah,
Go
I'm
ahead. I'm
just
sorry.
it's okay. But yeah, that's what some self-help books remind me of,
I
and
agree.
that's why I don't too much indulge in them. Now there are some good ones, but even just like with relationship books or them talking about, pointers for your relationship or things that will those type of books, everybody just has a thing that works for them. That's how
Yeah,
I feel just overall about it.
that's great coming from your unique perspective, and it's nice seeing how other people worked out their problems. I guess that would be a good use of them, but like as far as telling people to do what I did and follow what I did to get the same results, I think it's you're expecting a lot.
Yeah. So it just gives a bunch of opinions. That's
Yeah.
why I just don't too much indulge in them.
This works for me, standing straight up with arms crossed on the book cover.
Okay. Congratulations to you.
That's great.
So yeah, that's why I don't really too much indulge in
I feel
them.
like a lot of people feel that way.
Mm,
Like, this isn't doing anything for me. Like, this doesn't, I can't relate to this. It has to be relatable, I think, up front. But even then, it's hard to get people to, I don't know. I don't know. I just think it's hard to have a one size fits all for anything. And that's what a lot of self help books are. Like, do this so you can do this. And it's like, that's not going to work for everybody. So, again, it's about finding what works for you.
yeah, I agree. For example, I will say I don't need a self-help book to tell me I'm that girl or
Right?
that it's just I don't really need a book like that to tell me that. Some things I feel like with self-help books, 100 pages of stuff saying don't let no man do you this or some stuff I just feel like is common sense. Even like we were just talking about, how we were talking about money the other day and we were talking about how, what's the book that is it Rich Dad Poor Dad? Is that the
Yes.
book?
Oh, my goodness.
Yes, I don't like books that tell you, okay, this is my money and I'm gonna do what I want with my money. So you telling me that I don't need to spend $7 on no coffee. I'm gonna do what the hell I want to do. That's how I overall feel about that. I'm not gonna scrape pities and do all of this and
Yeah,
sell
not to
all my
mention,
furniture to do this
right. And
when
not to
like
mention a lot of those books, including that one, like they ignore the fact and don't mention, hey, I had a bunch of startup money coming into this, so I can save about $5,000 and have it tucked away and go do this and blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean? It's like, it's just things that they aren't relatable to everybody, but somehow they sold billions and millions of copies.
or is people saying with the self-help books, even with and just life perspectives, people be like, oh, I got it out the mud. I didn't need help. Well, I'm
Yes.
sorry. Some people need help. Like
Yeah.
that's just a limited
Everybody's not
belief.
starting off on the same in the same foot, and then they'll like try to, like, you can't like equate your experience with everybody else's experience. And even when they do, even they humble stories, it's like you're leaving out a lot of stuff that led to your specific success in this market. So like, again, you just got to be careful of things like that.
So I like Charlemagne the God. He's always
I do
been one of my
too.
yeah.
He's not right all the time. I don't agree with everything he says, but I like people who tell the truth and they're just giving you an intellectual opinion. He'll come back and say he's wrong if he's wrong, but for the most part, I like him.
Yeah, and I downloaded on Audible his latest release, and I listened to it this past summer. So I've listened to Charlemagne, one of Charlemagne's books before, and I think
Mhm.
it was more of like his biography, the first one. I
I
actually
think
have
that's
it
the
in
one I
my
read.
yeah, I actually have the physical book for that one, but the his latest release, I didn't really care for it because it was one of those like self-help kind of things.
Oh,
But it wasn't like all bad, but it was just he was sharing his experiences and it's like thing of not everybody has to go through that. And it's one thing telling your story and what may work for you, but it's in a way of how you say it and how you tell it. You shouldn't be
yeah,
telling people, for example, you know how if somebody get up on his show and they be rapping or something, and he'll be like, "Nah, that ain't it." Like you can't tell people that necessarily. Like, yeah, you can tell them that, but who are you to say like, they shouldn't rap?
yeah.
So,
Like maybe they just need to go hone their skills a little bit more. Like, there
right.
is different strokes for different folks. Like you gotta, and I think that's where a lot of the self help books today, especially the more modern ones, they're very self righteous a little bit. Like do this and this and this because I did this, and so there's no reason why you can't do it. It's like I don't want to do that.
I don't want to do it that way.
I don't think I need to anymore.
It's just like your parents like telling you, "This is what I had to do. I had to walk through rain, snow, and sleet to
Like,
get to
well,
school." Well,
that
I'm
sucks.
sorry. I'm not that sucks for you. Sorry.
Exactly.
Or it might be a little bit off topic, but I remember it's the girl who just retired from the WNBA, Diana Taurasi. And I remember last year before Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese got drafted, she was saying it's not gonna be a cakewalk. Like it's been people playing for years. Like this is not gonna be it. And they obviously came in and they did really good. And I remember I was watching What It Is, What It Is. I was watching Cameron and he was like, "Yeah, they try to pack you up." So you saying that shit. Like, yeah, because you had a hard time. Don't mean everybody else had a hard time. They try to pack your ass.
You got a point.
Yes. So these self-help books, they just be like your own personal opinion. And everybody got an opinion. So do you have any of your favorite self-help books? I know, like you said, we don't necessarily read a whole lot of them, but what are your recommendations?
Okay, so I have The Power of Your Subconscious Mind by Joseph Murphy. That's like one of my all time favorites, and it's not really long either, so you guys, you can go read it. It won't take you long. And then I have The Little Book of Talent by Daniel Coyle. I actually read this one like my sophomore year of college, and I don't know why. Maybe I was just in a slump, but a lot of those things have always stuck with me, and so I just go back and revisit them. And then I have a couple. I'm a little leery to name one, and I'll tell you why. Um, so it's called Never Split the Difference by Chris Voss. I don't know if you've heard of it.
Mm-mm.
Well, it was a really good book, and it's like it's this guy. He used to be an FBI like negotiator, like a hostage negotiator. He used to help get people out of hostage negotiations by talking to the people holding them hostage, and like getting to a resolve so they'll let people go. But that's what the book is about, like all these tactics that you can use in day-to-day interactions. It'll help communication. It was just like a whole thing. It's negotiation strategies which we use when we communicate with people all day every day. So that was on my list. However, I read that book the first time almost 10 years ago, and I don't go and look up authors like just out of the blue. But I've seen Chris Voss on some Fox News stuff, and I can't tell you exactly what his, political leanings are. Whatever they are, they're his business. But I don't really want to promote his stuff if he's for some crap. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, I don't know if I want to put that one on there, but that was a really good book. What do you think about that?
You can. I'm not gonna lie. I ain't support this at all. But
Mm-hmm.
I'm on this. I have this list that I'm gonna talk about later. About the top self help books. Girl, guess who name on that damn
Who?
list? Your president.
Is it The Art of the Deal?
Is it? I'm not sure. I was like, he wrote a book. I'm like, oh my god, that's exactly why I don't read these shits now.
That's who it be. It's always them. I remember reading The Art of the Deal too. It was so pompous. It was just like it's exactly the way that he talks. Like there was some good stuff in there, I guess, but like for the most, it was overshadowed by like, ew, I don't want to read about this. Like, dude, you're a weirdo. He has this arrogant way. Now he has one of those voices like when they're talking like, I did
Mm.
this, so you did like
And
now
he
you
liked to
really
hear
shouldn't be
himself
talking about
talk.
that.
He
Like
liked to
you
hear
shouldn't talk
himself
about no
talk.
bootstraps at all. He does. So yeah, that's where I was with that one. And in that case, I have another one in its place, which isn't really self-help, but it's inspirational. And I feel like everybody should read it, which is Up From Nigger by Dick Gregory. I don't know if you've read any Dick Gregory books, but it's like he has one, it's like just nigger, it's like his biography. And then the next one is Up From, which is it talks about it's the continuation of his autobiography, but it's his work with
Hmm.
like the civil rights movement. He did a lot for like women's rights. He's like all he came to Selma multiple times. Like he stayed in the South trying to like he was working for the people.
Yeah.
But it's inspirational, especially in the political climate we're in now. Like I think people need to revisit a lot of these things because it was a lot of work that went into getting these laws passed and getting us the rights that we have now. And now it's just like they just want to set them aflame.
Yeah,
But that is one of my favorite books ever. And I add it to my self help list because it self helps me. Do it works for you.
exactly.
What books do you have on your list?
Okay. So I have three, and these are some that I actually, sat and I actually enjoyed and actually took into, consideration. It was just like, oh, okay, this will help me. So my number one pick is All About Love by Bell Hooks.
Ooh.
Yes. Number two, Women Who Think Too Much by Susan Nolan. And this actually kind
I've
of
heard about that.
really, yeah, this actually really put me into a different perspective of I really have like I don't do it as much now, but I used to have a really huge problem with overthinking. Like really, really bad. Anxiety, like driven, like type of like thinking too much. Like about to like going like you ever like overthinking you like going down like a black hole.
Absolutely.
Yes.
And then
It
that
used to
rabbit
be
hole, it's another one.
yeah, it used to be really bad around like 2 years ago. I would say my overthinking was really, really bad. And when you overthink as well, you're really thinking about stuff that's never gonna probably happen. That's a overthinking aspect. That's what really put me into perspective of like how bad overthinking is. Like something that will never even possibly happen, or even thinking like people are probably talking about you. Now I kind of don't really care nothing about that, but it really put me into perspective of that. And my last one is Unbothered by Omarion.
Oh, I want to read that.
I listened to it on Audible.
I want to
So,
read it.
but
But
I
I've been
don't,
expecting
but
that to be good. I'm gonna be honest. I'll be ignoring a lot of like the pop stars and the singers and stuff. Like that's mean though,
when they
because
try to
like you're
put
gonna
down a
say it's good.
book, yeah.
Yeah, like okay. I don't want to hear this that you
Like, wow,
dictated to
you finna,
somebody,
yeah, you finna put out a book. Oh, wow.
right?
That's how I
I
feel
want to
about
read
the
that
celebrities.
though.
Yeah,
Like, was
no,
he
I
talking
actually
about
like it.
like some deep stuff?
He was just talking about his personal experiences, and then he also gave kind of some meditation exercises and stuff. And
Oh, Marion.
if you actually have the physical copy of the book, I think it's some journal prompts and stuff in there. Yeah. But I just saw last night. So I'm supposed to be going to the Millennium Tour next Saturday. By the time this episode air, I'll be gone. I haven't seen Omarion, but he was cussing them folks out. I don't know if he been taking his own advice, but he was cussing them folks out of his concert last. He was
I
so
heard there's a
mad.
lot going on at those tours.
Yes, it's just like what y'all got going on. I've been seeing
Get
all
it
types
together,
of
boys.
clips, right? That he was definitely telling them the people in the front row. They was like,
He was cussing
the
out the
yes,
audience.
yes, because he said it's a concert. Get the F up. It's a concert. Get the F up. I'm like,
No,
oh, you did not meditate before you came on tonight because you are mad. My goodness.
I did not.
Yes. I'm gonna send you the video because he was mad. And somebody was
That is
like,
crazy.
and then he got man titties a little bit. Like he got like a little A
Yeah.
cup, B cup. So somebody was like, he not finna get up on stage and be cussing me out with his A cup, B cup. All right, let me stop talking about Omarion ass. Nah, but I'm excited to see him next week. But nah, his book was really good. His book was really good. Right. I need to see if it's some other self-help books that some celebrities done put out. Nah, but I like his
Now,
book. It's cute. It's a cute little book. He was talking about his little experience, when all this stuff was going on with his baby mama and little Fiaz and stuff. He was talking about all that and like how he was saying how that don't really bother him and how he choose peace and whatnot.
check
But I
that
just
out.
feel like, hey, we all human, so we
We
all
are.
have our days. We ain't all zened out all the time.
That is hilarious, though. Like,
Yeah,
not
he was
gonna
mad.
lie.
He was mad. I'm just like, look, it is the Millennium Tour. I ain't gonna lie. I
You're
don't
not
be
gonna
wanting to
get up
stand
there
up in
with
no
your
damn
A
concert no
cup.
more. I'm not trying to
Oh my
stand up no
goodness.
more at no damn concerts.
Now,
Mm-mm.
what was I finna say? Now, I remember when Tiffany Haddish's book first came out. This was before she
I
was
have that book.
ridiculous. The Last Black Unicorn or
Yeah,
something
I
like
read
that.
that
Like
book. That's like
it
my
was
favorite
I
biography.
loved that book so much. Like I was 100%. I'm supporting her. I'm riding for her. But that book overall, I don't know who she got to write it or who helped her. But that was a
Yeah, I agree. I agree. I definitely have it. So
read Tree
yeah,
inspired book, and I think I
that's
want.
I want to read Trina's biography, and of course Gucci's
Yep,
and Tina Knowles when it comes out.
that is happening.
And I can just only imagine she dropping some gems. Does Lisa Ray have a book out?
I would be very surprised if she didn't.
Because when I
Let me
last
see.
watched her on an interview, she was really dropping some gems.
She
So
should.
yeah. So if she has one, let me know because I would
If
definitely
she
love
does
to read
not,
it. Well, she need to consider write
she
one.
should. She definitely got a story to tell.
Yeah. So let me go to these. I'm on 4minutebooks.com and I'm about to read off the top self-help books. And I know we about to talk about we got something funny to say about these. Okay, so number 1 is The Alchemist.
I think I remember reading that.
I
Yeah, I
had it and
remember
I
reading
gave it
that.
away.
Yeah,
I gave it to somebody as a gift
it
because
was
I couldn't read
tedious.
it. Yeah,
Yeah.
I just couldn't read it. Sorry, my attention span was a little just too for it. Atomic Habits. And you know what's crazy about Atomic Habits? So somebody in a book club that I was in when I was in Phoenix, we used to have a poll up to see like our next book was gonna be or what book we were gonna read.
Mm-hmm.
And Atomic Habits happened to be in the thing of the four in the poll of four choices. And it ended up winning. And I was so pissed off because I really didn't want to read that book. And I didn't read it because I don't care for self-help books like that. I was so fucking mad about it.
I think I started reading Atomic Habits, but it's kind of like it has that same playbook as like a lot of self help books where it's like the same. Once you're talking about habits and developing a routine and stuff like that, they're all saying the same things over and over.
Yeah, wake up early, get exercise, take vitamins,
Start your day by listing out your intentions.
say
Like, okay.
affirmations, say
All
this.
right. Oh my
Like,
God, the
okay.
affirmations. If one more person
And I ain't gonna lie,
tells
like
me,
I say affirmations and I listen to my affirmations, but it's just like some stuff they just be wanting you to say like do every day and it's just like come on y'all. Drink 8 gallons of water, do this, do that, get your
yeah,
10K steps in. Like y'all killing me now. Like
it has
god
to be
dog.
personalized. That's why I like the little book of talent though. Like it has like a bunch of those things, but it's kind of like grouped into this book of maybe like 50 or so tips, but it's broken down into these different stories of how people use these techniques, and then
Mhm.
you can like read about how they did it, and then it gives you tips on how you can implement it yourself, like what they did. But I like proven record of okay, this works for this, and then maybe I can try it if I want to.
All
Like I
right.
don't like you need to do each one of these things specifically. You stop doing one, you fail. Like that's not my kind of thing.
Yeah, I remember The Rock, he goes to the gym every morning and somebody was trying to do his workout like on TikTok and they talk about some how they was finna throw up trying to do it. I was like, cause that works for him. You can't do that. He gets up every
You
morning
see
at
him?
4. Like, yes, that works for
You
him.
get your usually wake up at 11 a.m. behind up in here trying to eat eggs at 4 a.m. and go for a 5 mile run. Like, have you
Of
lost your
course,
mind?
of course you're gonna be sick.
He has been training for this for years.
Yeah, this man been a professional wrestler since I was 4 years old. Like, what you
It made me want to throw up. Stop trying everything you
Hey,
see.
this man used to play football. Like, hold on
He's
now.
a
Like,
wrestler. Come on.
here's the book. Here's the top book right here. Know what I'm gonna say?
Art of the deal.
Uh-uh.
What is it?
40, like, red flag.
Like 50 men just hear you say that out of nowhere from a 50-mile
I'm
radius, and
finna,
they all like, I
somebody
read
back.
that.
They gonna have pitchforks in the
It's like,
comment.
oh my God. Who said something about the 50?
They're like, boy, if you in that book, like,
I remember
so
I had.
I swear, whenever I start back dating and somebody, I'll be like, I read and I have a podcast. They'll be like, oh, I read too. I'll be like, oh yeah, what do
You
you
ever read
read?
48 Laws of
And
Power?
I'ma just be like, get me up out of here. No, because you don't read.
It's like, okay, give me another one.
Just like you remember on Abbott, he talked about some,
He was
he talked
trying to
about
get
some
that
trying to get
Bible.
48 laws of power in a kid's library.
It's like, no. You know 50 Cent has a book called The 50th Law, and
I
it's
would
like
read
that, but
that.
it's like 50 more. It's actually pretty good. I remember reading it because I was like, so what? It's his own 48 laws of power, but then I started reading it and I was like, okay, this is actually pretty good.
I like 50 Cent. I love 50 Cent actually.
Yeah, he's a jerk, but you know what?
Don't start name with him.
That's true. That's true.
That's what I
That is
will
true.
say. He is definitely the definition of don't start none, won't be none.
But like That was a really well written, well put together book. Like it was like 48 Laws of Power, but it wasn't as self righteous.
Hmm. I need to add that to the list. I swear my Goodreads list got 150 books on it by now.
You never
I'm about
run
to
out.
I'm about to look up some reviews on 48 Laws of Power and see what
I
these
swear this
men
book
say.
changed my life.
I swear, I
I
bet
got
that's
out
gonna be
of
the first
jail,
comment that pops up.
took control of my life.
You know what's funny? It's actually a bad review. Okay, he says, well, he wrote 4 paragraphs about it. Okay. Let me get serious. He says, I'm about to do my voice when I do reviews, when I read reviews. I think this is a horrible book. Written well enough, sure, whatever, but just so very, very wrong. Unless you have no morals. At least with Machiavelli, you can make the excuse that he wasn't so much advocating what he said, but merely describing reality. This guy is advocating evil. As I read it, I couldn't help wondering how many politicians actually think this way. I know, he was mad. Oh my goodness.
If you have morals.
Let me see. Somebody said I learned to be evil with this book.
Oh, wow.
He said, haha, actually, this book made me realize how shady people can be. Well, it has 200,000 ratings on Goodreads. I mean, it's up to a 5-star. So I guess to each his own. Like I said, reading is subjective.
Something out
Uh-oh.
there for everybody, child.
Well, okay, so I'm on Goodreads right now and I'm looking up. So I have in the search engine 48 Laws. So there's another book that pops up and it says Pimpology, the 48 Laws of the Game.
Oh, God.
What
Who
can
is it
I
by?
Pimpin' Ken. That's who it's by. Somebody need to look that shit up. Don't
Let
make
me
no
see. I gotta
goddamn
look
sense.
up
They
Pimp
letting
Ken.
anybody write goddamn books on fucking pimpology. Okay. So before we wrap up, Sinitra, what would you recommend? Or what's a book that you would like to read? A self-help book that you would like to read?
So, for anybody who, especially if you're not really into self help, I would recommend you read The Power of Your Subconscious Mind. Just read it and have it tucked in the back of your mind. Once you read it, your brain won't forget it and you'll like start identifying things. But one book that I would like to read, I think, is Who Better Than You by Will Packer, and it's The Art of Healthy Arrogance and Dreaming Big. I think I would definitely going to check that out and give it a go and stop being so judgmental about self-help books, starting with that one. What
I
are
ain't gonna say
you?
I ain't gonna say I ain't gonna be judgmental about them, but as soon
I'm
as
gonna
I see
try.
something that's a little bit of limited belief,
I'm gonna give it a try. I'm gonna give it a go. It's Will Packer. I'm gonna trust it for a second. What are you thinking? What would you recommend for people, and what self-help book are you thinking about reading?
I'm thinking about reading The Let Them Theory by Mel Robbins. I saw someone posted on Instagram the other day and it looks pretty good. And I think it just overall talks about just let people think what they want to think. And regardless, I think this is just an actual, just as humans, we need to more so put this into perspective that we only have one life to live. Mind you, this is my life, or that's what you kind of like need to go about in your head. Just let people think what they want to think, because at the end of the day, you gonna do what you want to do regardless.
Well,
So
all opinions expressed today in this podcast are our own. You are free to love any self-help book or inspirational book or book that gets you going. Stay tuned for the next episode and we will talk to you guys next time.
bye. Thank you for listening, and be sure to follow us on our socials and check out our reading list on Goodreads.